With the existing Prime Minister in place, I don't know if we can, to be honest.
Income tax UK, 45%. Dubai, 0.
10,000 millionaires had left the UK in 2025.
Can you compare the personal income of someone who earns £1 million in the UK versus in Dubai? And I can't lie, bro, the facts.
It's a game changer.
Crazy. Yes, guys, welcome back to the Unplug podcast, the best flipping show on YouTube. And today, home edition.
Home edition, let's go.
Let's go.
So guys, today we are doing a special edition. We'll call it the home edition. Why? Because we're in my home.
Literally.
The Unplug podcast concept came about just over a year ago where myself and Freeman used to just have several conversations, discussions, sometimes in this living room, sometimes over the phone. And we thought, why wouldn't it be good to go back to our origin and really just have a nice, authentic conversation in the environment where it all started?
Exactly. So really hope you guys can appreciate that. Make sure you're liking, sharing, and subscribing.
Indeed. And before we start, guys, we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. So if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, press that big button on your screen. That will help share the algorithm, that will push out more content to you and your friends so you can get all the information you need to go to the next level.
So what I want to speak to you about today, bro, is I saw an article from The Guardian. Edit will pop it up there for you guys to watch it. And it says record number 1,000 UK taxpayers under the age of 30 earned more than £1 million last year. And those 1,000 UK taxpayers under the age of 30 made approximately £3 billion. So roughly about 3 million each. And
very good money.
Very good money.
Under the age of 30.
Under the age of 30, which is crazy. And that's a 70% increase since the pandemic, which is crazy, by the way. Majority of them being influencers and sports entrepreneurs and etc. Social media kind of people, right?
Makes sense.
As soon as I saw that, I thought, obviously, well done, bravo. But two main things come up in my mind. The first thing is, who the hell is teaching these people how to manage the money, right? Because me being, near my 30s now, and have I not known what I know now, being handed £3 million or saying, okay, cool, click of a button, switch or flick of a switch, click of a button, whatever you call it, right? I'm now starting to earn £3 million. I would not know what to do, right? Number one. And then the second thing I thought of was taxes.
Yes, the big one.
The big one, right? But talking more so on the first one in terms of how do you think they're managing it, and what would you say sort of like a lot of their mindsets potentially right now?
I will go back to something that I read a while ago, which is that a lot of people, even though they make a lot of money, they don't necessarily know how to manage their money. Because it's one thing making the money, but the biggest thing is keeping it.
Yes.
And you keep it by, obviously money management, investing it and things like that. So hopefully these people, have now got financial advisors around them, people that they can trust, people that can advise them in the right way to invest their money. But I know there are stories of, you hear stories like Britney Spears where her parents were basically pimping her out.
Crazy.
And you'd like to think that if you started making a lot of money as a 30-year-old or someone under 30, that your parents could be someone that you could really trust and, help guide you with your finances. So you just need to be very careful who you're confided in, essentially. But I do know, obviously, a lot of people, like I said before, make money and end up going broke. Why? Because they don't know how to manage their money.
110%. Now, more so like on how they came about making that money as well, right? Because preservation is one thing, but I feel like we need to have like a clear identifier on income and wealth, right? And a lot of the time people like to interchange the two. So from your perspective, like, why is it so important that once, especially these young people, start making X amount of income, they now start looking at the wealth side of things?
Well, I think let's break down the difference between, say, income and wealth. So for me, income is you making money through, possibly selling your time.
Yes.
So that's income. But for me, wealth is how you make money when you're not selling your time. It's making money while you sleep. It's making passive income. So there's a big difference there. I think a lot of people who go on to make a lot of money and then lose it is because they know how to make money, but they don't know how to create the wealth. So I wanted to speak about I think, obviously, I read a statistic, and it was like the average millionaire is, I think it's 51.
Okay.
So there's a clear shift in a lot of younger people now becoming millionaires, which is great. It's very inspiring for someone like myself, and I'm sure it's inspiring for you.
For sure.
Why do you think there's a shift in a lot more younger people becoming millionaires, and how can maybe our audience, if they are under 30, what types of things can they maybe do to become a millionaire quicker?
No, I think that's a good question. I think in today's age, technology and the use of marketing has been used massively to push certain agendas. And that doesn't necessarily have to be political, but it could be for sales. You know, you want a certain demographic of people to buy this, whatever it may be. Now, these young creators, again, social media influencers, have developed a skill, especially after lockdown, right, where they were just sort of cooped up and thought, okay, cool, I have a skill, I have a talent, or I have a way to garner interest, right? And to a point where you have now 1 million followers, and out of those 1 million followers, 10% are loyal and will do whatever it is you say to you because they're so bought into you. Now, an advertiser, a sponsor, or a company will be willing to pay said sponsor to now push a certain agenda, campaign, project, product, service, or whatever it may be, to their demographic of followers to then hopefully buy, so the company can get, like, you know, a return on investment. So I think for a lot of people who are looking to now, you know, touch into that millionaire status in a fairly quick and effective way, is look to see how you can garner attention, right? How you can get eyeballs right now. You know, like the Super Bowl, that's a big thing that happened not too long ago, right, in the States. And apparently they got about 100 million views during that sort of Super Bowl weekend or day, right? Now imagine, as an advertiser, I believe when I last checked it, they pay about $5.2 million for a 60-second ad. A 60-second ad. Why? Because there are literally hundreds of millions of people watching. So now imagine on a more sort of like, on a smaller scale, you've got 1 million followers, right? I think it's, you know, brands would be happy to pay anywhere from about 5 figures, 10,000, right? For any sort of campaign or post you make for 60 seconds. So I think look to see something you're passionate about, something you don't mind talking about for free all the time, anytime. It doesn't necessarily need to be something you're knowledgeable about. I know there's a lady who literally just narrates like old like crime novels, like Jack the Ripper and stuff like that. And like, DB Cooper, the guy who stole $1 million and jumped out a plane with a parachute, never to be found. So like just interesting things where it can garner attention and people's interest, and you can get like a loyal sort of fan base. So yeah, just something you're interested in, something you're speaking about, that you wouldn't mind, even a podcast, wherever it may be, like just where you can sort of garner attention.
And I think like this should inspire people who are under 30 and people over 40.
Oh yeah, 100%.
There's definitely a shift in terms of like 10, 15 years ago, a lot of people would have felt they need to climb the corporate ladder. They need to work 30 years to earn big money. But clearly the younger generation, I call them the Gen Z generation, they are the internet generation. They know how to manipulate, they know how to leverage the internet, social media. They found ways to make a lot of money in a shorter space of time. So it's inspiring, it's motivating. I love to hear it. And I think it also goes to show there's also like a bit of a myth, a bit of a stigma around young people that they're generally lazy. But I feel like, I don't necessarily think young people are lazy. They just know there's a better way to do things.
Smarter way.
Smarter way. They're aware of working harder is a thing of the past, and working smarter, i.e. leveraging social media, the internet, etc., is a much better way now to make income, which hopefully you can then turn into wealth.
Yeah, no, 110%. I totally agree with you.
JP here from the Unplug podcast. This is a PSA to say make sure you are subscribing. It helps push the algorithm massively so more and more people can see this amazing content that we're bringing to the world to help you go to the next level.
So yeah, so more so talking on the second point that I also mentioned, which is taxes right now. Like now an obvious thing, I think you said, what was the fact that you mentioned off camera about the total number of people?
So yeah, I read a while ago that 10,000 millionaires had left the UK in 2025, which is very alarming.
Exactly.
For those who are not millionaires, because if you're not a millionaire and you're hearing millionaires are leaving, that's like alarm bells.
You know what I mean?
Clearly they know something that we don't know.
Exactly. And I feel like a big thing of that is taxes. Now, not to get into political, I think currently in today's sort of climate, the UK isn't pro-entrepreneurs, right? The way that they're dealing with landlords in terms of the taxes that they can get, and the way that they're dealing with entrepreneurs with, you know, increasing the certain thresholds that's required, and corporate tax and VAT tax. Like, I just got slapped with a VAT thing that I need to start sorting out as well. And a lot of entrepreneurs, or even people, are just looking at alternative countries which have more suitable tax terms, right? So for example, like one thing is what I researched, obviously like we've been to Dubai, right? And I've been to Dubai as well. And I feel like one thing for me was just sort of understanding the tax breaks. And I just sort of put into ChatGPT, and guys, if you're not using ChatGPT, one, make sure you watch our episode on AI, and two, make sure you're using ChatGPT, not even in this just basic level, like look to see how it can compute. And basically why I asked Chat was, I said to Chat, can you compare the personal income of someone who earns £1 million in the UK versus in Dubai? And I can't lie, bro, the facts.
It's a game changer.
Crazy.
Yeah.
45% income tax in the UK. Nearly half of your income.
Bro, that's like your whole business. That's like a profit margin.
Bro, it is itself. So you're no longer a millionaire. Yeah. Right? Imagine you just touched that one M.
But do you know what before you continue, what that shows is that over here, you could, like, you might not be a millionaire, but in another country, you could be a millionaire because of the tax savings that you're making. So
yeah, bro,
that's scary.
Literally so, like, income tax UK, 45%. Dubai, 0. National insurance, 2% above 50K. Dubai, 0. Capital gains tax, 20%, 28% for property. Dubai, you guessed it, 0. Dividends up to 39.35%. Dubai, 0. You're sensing the theme right now. Now, corporation tax, UK, 25%. Dubai, 9% above a certain threshold. That's the thing. So I think it might be up to like £250,000. I'm not too sure. Inheritance tax. Now, this is simply just by inheriting money. So even just to die in the UK isn't free anymore, right? Inheritance tax, maybe your mom, your grandchild or whatever, 40%. Dubai, 0. And VAT, UK, 20%. And Dubai just recently 5%. They call it value added tax, and I swear to you, there's no value in that tax, right? And we were speaking a bit about it off camera, and I was like, I have no issue or qualms paying my fair dues, right, for a country that I'm living in. But I'm yet to see my dues. Like the pothole from 10 years ago is still there. All the loose bits and the garbage and the bins, so sometimes they're late. So it's like, where is my taxes going
every
to?
other week now.
You know what I mean? As and when he feels. I've got to send him a WhatsApp. I'm like, bro, Paul, are you coming or not, bro? The bin is piling up. Do you get what I mean? Should I do it myself? Like, you know what I mean? So like for me, it's like, I don't mind paying taxes or my fair share.
But you want to see where your money is going. I mean? No, 100%.
Whereas if I was to go to Dubai, I was like, cool, the taxes that I'm paying, although very small in comparison to the UK, but I'm seeing like the constant development. Like even recently I saw that I think for 2030 or 2035, they want to make Dubai like 50% of Dubai green. I think it's in the desert. So imagine like how much effort and infrastructure they're putting into their nation, to their country. Whereas in the UK, where we're literally an island and we've got all these natural resources that we can utilize, and we're not doing this with all this money that we're bringing in from taxpayers.
Yeah, my big thing is that the biggest take I've taken from that is that potentially you could have a struggling business here and bring it to another country and it now be successful.
100%.
Because you're saving so much money on tax. And like things, we're not trying to evade tax, but as an aspiring entrepreneur, as someone who's trying to grow their business, you have to build your business in an economy that makes sense, that is suitable, that is there to allow you to grow. And I feel like countries, not just Dubai, there are other countries where they encourage being an entrepreneur. It's something that they want people to do. They see the importance of it. And I just feel if you are starting a business or you're in a business, it's definitely something to consider. We both have friends who now live in Dubai because, you know, they understand that Dubai is a growing economy. They encourage entrepreneurs. It's all about business. Dubai want people to come in and just help build up things. And I just feel at the moment where the UK's gone, it's not in the greatest place. Can we turn it around? I hope we can. But with the existing prime minister in place, I don't know if we can, to be honest.
Bro, that's another conversation. But one thing I even wanted to speak about is, like I said, we've both been to Dubai, right? I think you probably even a bit more than me now. Going there yourself as a founder, as an entrepreneur, aside from the taxes, imagine if they married up with the UK, right? Hopefully that never will be the case. But imagine if they married up with the UK. What does like the Middle East and Dubai just sort of do for you as a founder, as a business owner, that you perhaps wouldn't get
I think
so much in
number
London?
one, obviously I love London, I'm a London boy, but there's no better feeling than waking up every day to sunshine. It just does something for your mental health, it does something for your mood. Like I was on an aeroplane coming back from Spain a couple of months ago, and I got speaking to a guy on the back of the plane. and it transpired that he was a millionaire sat at the back of the plane.
Crazy.
And he was just saying that he's actually moved to Spain because the weather's so much better, and he finds that he's able to be at least 30% more productive due to better weather.
That's crazy.
So in answer to your question, I feel like when you are constantly in sun and around sun, you're in a better mood. So you're able to just give more, be more productive, you're in a better mood. So I would definitely shift to Dubai, number one, for good weather. Number two, it feels like it's a country, like I said, that is promoting being an entrepreneur. It's encouraging it. They want it. They're saying, come over. If you've got a business idea, come over. We've got all these things in place, incentives, and you're just around like-minded people that are growing, people that are pushing. You know, it's a great place to network. And yeah, I think those are the main two for me. Just the weather, being in an environment where there's other people who are like-minded like you, and everyone just wants to break bread and make money.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think for me more so, like I was there back in last year for about a month or so. And what I found out there was a mindset for a lot of people. People in the UK are very miserable, man. Like, people are so moany. People love to gatekeep. People in the UK don't like to share. Like, I remember coming, because obviously a lot of you don't know, I'm Irish, right? So Irish and Islander were very like a communal kind of country, like, you know, like very communal, like, you know, what's mine is yours, my neighbor kind of thing. And in the UK, I landed in Croydon, I was like, whoa, yo, I can't look at this guy for more than 2 seconds before he comes to me. You know what I mean? Like, so I just felt like there was a very sort of standoffish kind of a vibe, and very fixed mindset people in the UK, I think, personally. Obviously not everyone, obviously I'm speaking for like my personal experience. I'm not giving like a general thing of the UK, of course. But I felt like when I went to Dubai, I could literally be speaking to a billionaire like he was a normal person, right? Like, the level of access to wealth is at your fingertips. You could walk into a Starbucks in Dubai and the net worth of that Starbucks would literally be $1 billion, right? The level of access to wealth is insane. To get a level of access to even $1 million in the UK is difficult. There's so many different classes and clubs and societies that limit the average everyday Joe to even get a sniff of what's possible, right? And we always talk about your circle and your environment, and it's very hard to be able to find that, and it's a very much who you know that can let you into those sort of clubs, right? Whereas in Dubai, that's just the norm, right? And I always think as well, another thing in Dubai is, I always say it's an incubator for success, right? If you are working, you're grinding, you're hustling right here, you're just going to 5x, 10x, 15x, whatever the hell you're doing now in Dubai, right? And it's also provided you with an infrastructure to do so, whether that be through resources, whether that be through people, whether that be through labor, marketing, whatever. They've got the best of the best technology, you know, weather, you know what I mean? So you're just starting your day off so strong, you know. But I also say in the same breath that if you're not built out for it, and if you're a bum here and you're brokey here and you don't know how to manage yourself and you haven't got that drive or ambition, Dubai will humble you. I can't count how many people have gone to Dubai and have come back in 6 months, or come back lesser off than when they first left. You know what I mean?
I was going to say as well, because I know Dubai also, as well as being seen as this place that, you know, you can take your life to the next level, there's also a certain stigma around how it's been built up, like how it's come to where it is.
Yeah,
like the whole slave labor.
Yeah,
that's
the thing as well.
But I would say, you know, in regards to that, no country is perfect.
Yeah, of course.
You just got to look at what's happening in the UK right now. Do you know what I mean? So, like anything, there's good and there's bad, but you just got to weigh up, like, for where you want to be in your life and where you want to take, like, what is going to be the best place to do that. And for some people, it still might be London if that's how you feel. Great. For me right now, it still is London, which is why I'm here. But I'm also trying to think about the future with how the economy is going. You need to be forward thinking. You need to be thinking, is this still going to be for me in the next 5 years? And it might be. Hopefully, like I said, things turn around, but it's not looking very positive.
It's not looking good, bruv.
It's not looking good, bruv. So,
but no, I think this was a very, very sort of topical thing. Like I said, ever more so now, there are plenty of millionaires and even more billionaires which are being created. So, and we'd like to think, you know, a few millionaires off the back of you guys, and hopefully billionaires as well, will be listening in, and you guys will equally feel inspired to sort of understand like your most optimal place to like learn, grow, and thrive as well. But Guys, boys and girls, we really, really hope you appreciate this Unplug Home Edition. Please let us know if we should do more of this. If you like it, tell me about the setting and what's what. Let us know. You guys going to be moving to Dubai? Let us know in the comments as well. But guys, please make sure you're liking,
sharing,
subscribing, tell a friend, tell your mom, tell your dad, tell his mistress. Please tell her. You know what I mean? And as always, guys, love, love, love.
elevate.